Good morning, you legends, and welcome to another training vlog. Today we got a big action-packed day full of a full day of eating. I'm going to show you a day in the life, and then I'm just going to talk to you along the journey. So pretty much what we got today is some cardio work in the morning, then we got some clean and jerk, bench press, metcons, and the zone 2 run later. So it's going to be a triple session, so I'm going to show you how I feel for it, what I'm doing to just get after it on day to day, how I'm healing from my QL injury in my lower back, and pretty much just gonna bring you guys along for the ride. All right, so you guys already know what we got going on for breakfast. We got the 3 whole eggs. We pretty much just leave these a little runny just because we don't want to oxidize the nutrients. There's a lot of good B vitamins and choline in the eggs. So when you cook them through, they tend to just oxidize and lose all that nutritional value. So definitely eat the egg whites, definitely eat the egg yolks. Don't just listen to these people out there saying, only eat the egg whites, the yellow part's bad for your cholesterol. It's kind of eyewash, don't really listen to that. And then we got the Yukon Gold potatoes. I just weighed it out. I got about 10 ounces here. And then we're gonna do a couple blueberries and a Greek yogurt. It was funny, I was actually talking to someone the other day about how much Greek yogurt I eat on the day-to-day. I eat about 2 to 3 Greek yogurts a day. So if you do the math, it's about 900 something Greek yogurts a year, which is definitely absurd to think about. But I'm a huge believer in eating Greek yogurt, because for the longest time I was just eating a bunch of processed stuff that wasn't really sitting well in my stomach, that had a ton of different ingredients, especially those crappy protein powders like Synthesix and Optimum Nutrition. So just going with a basic Greek yogurt 2 to 3 times a day has been an absolute game changer for me. So typically I come out here while my eggs are cooking, but loud bird. But typically I come out here while my eggs are cooking, but today since I'm filming a YouTube video, I'm just gonna come out here after. So pretty much what I do every single morning, no matter how cold it is I get outside, get some morning sunlight. This sets me up for a tremendous night of sleep later on, and it just gets me vitamin D early in the day and makes me feel super good. So if you guys are coming from a climate that's not sunny at all, even just getting out in the clouds is gonna be better off than just staying inside. But I also highly recommend supplementing with vitamin D and K throughout the winter. I take about 4,000 to 6,000 IUs daily. And so when we're out here, no matter how cold it is, like I said, I have no shoes on right now, so my feet are definitely freezing. But what I like to do is, a lot of people have been asking me about my morning mobility routine, and pretty much what I do is I just bring my neck through lateral flexion, 10 each way, and then I go into flexion and extension of my lateral spine, okay? Excuse me, of my cervical spine. And then I go into lateral flexion of my quadratus lumborum. This just flows everything up and just makes me feel a ton better. And then what I do is I do this big spinal wave, right? So I do mini spinal waves like Ido Portal, just segmenting each vertebrae just to open myself up, 10 rounds each way. And then I go here, I bring my chin down and I feel each vertebrae as I go towards the ground. So it's like this. This seems like a load of crap, right? It seems like hokey dokey, funky, weird shit, but it's definitely super beneficial for me. And it's very easy to just be like, oh, let's just crush weights, let's just do this stuff and we'll be okay. But then once things start to happen and you start to get injured and little tweaks like my QL, which is obviously not a huge thing, but it's something that I need to prevent in the future if I want to perform at an elite level. You need to be proactive instead of reactive, and that's what this is, just staying proactive and not being like, oh, hurt myself again, now we gotta rest for a week, now we gotta rehab again. No, just stay proactive. The best thing you can do is just continue to stay ready, continue to stay healthy, and drill your rehab work. So with all the volume I've been adding in because of doing CrossFit and just training in such high rep ranges of doing hundreds of reps every single day, I've definitely noticed some instability in my hips, especially in my glute med and my QL, which is causing some back pain when I do lift. So a big focus for me after my spinal waves and my mobility outside is just drilling tissue work to my quadratus lumborum. And then I'm also doing those QL things that I just showed you on the stairs. I'm pretty much just lengthening and shortening my QL to strengthen that muscle so my hip can be more stable. Because if your glute medius are stable and are strong, then your QLs aren't gonna get pulled to end range. And this is a huge problem with a lot of back pain. So definitely drill your rehab and prehab stuff in the morning when you have time or at night, because you're gonna feel a hell of a lot better if your little muscles are stable. Because yeah, if your big muscles are strong and healthy and powerful, but if your little stabilizer muscles aren't working like they should be, then you're gonna be so thrown off, not even in the short term, but in the long term. So definitely strengthen your QLs for your back and strengthen your low trap for your shoulders. Alright, so we're just finishing up making our supplements before session number 1. Just took krill oil, vitamin D, and magnesium. I took 300 milligrams this morning, just because I'll get a ton from food too, and then I'll take 200 milligrams later on at night. Sometimes only 100 milligrams, depending on how much food I ate. But preparing my pre-workout and pump right now for session number 1, which we're gonna head to right now. All right, so we just got to the gym, came in here, just warmed up my hips, did a little band warm up, had a 75 cal ski erg test. My goal was to do sub 330 because 75 cals, you start to get fatigued as time goes on. And I actually got 3 minutes and 15 seconds, which I'm super pumped about. I kept around 1300 RPMs on the ski erg as I went. Ski erg is something that I can use my leverage pretty well against, so I'm definitely pumped with how that went. And now I have some echo bike meters, and then we're gonna do some bicep and tricep work and just keep crushing the session. This first session is pretty much always cardio based. It usually takes about an hour, hour and a half. I come in, just get warmed up, and then just get whatever cardio intervals I need to do. And like I said, I always prioritize my cardio in the morning because that is my weakness. So if my lifts later on in the day suffer from it, so be it. I'd rather capitalize on my cardio and endurance gains. So something I've been loving doing in these morning sessions is supersets between banded tricep pushdowns and banded bicep curls. I do a set of 17 on the tricep pushdowns and a set of 17 on the bicep curls, and I rest about 30 to 45 seconds, which isn't a ton of time, but it's in order to build muscular endurance. And I've noticed some serious hypertrophic gains from it. So I definitely recommend bumping up from the 12 rep range and going into 15 and 17 if you are at a plateau, and just see what happens, because I've noticed some serious changes and definitely didn't think 17 reps would be the number that I was gonna see massive change with, but it works. All right, we are back home from session number 1, banging out about 3 hours of work right now, checking in with clients, making some content, working on my app that just dropped, so definitely go check that out. And this is a perfect time for me to just come home and get as much work as I possibly can done. I know I've talked about this in the past, but whether you're doing schoolwork or work in general, whether it be at a 9 to 5 or wherever, I think it's super important to work in sprints. So that's why I like to get my morning session done early. So I wake up, I activate my body, I get into a good headspace so that when I get back to my desk, I can grind and just lock in for 3 hours. And typically when I don't do that morning session, when I don't do those spinal waves outside, I feel like crap when I'm working. So it's super important for me to just get early movement early on in the day, and I feel 10 times better, and my work is just excels, and I'm able to get a lot more done in a shorter amount of time. All right, so of course for lunch we have the staple meal, bison and rice. 220 grams of bison cooked, and then 330 grams of jasmine rice cooked. I upped the intake of carbohydrates via jasmine rice just because I am sweating a ton and I want to be putting on a little bit more mass. So right now I'm about 213, 214 pounds. I'd like to be up to 217, so I'm slowly adding more carbohydrates to my meals. And then for a little extra protein, I've been putting this Greek yogurt on there as well. It just kind of acts as a sour cream. It's plain. Don't put too much because it can taste a little nuts, but definitely put a little bit to add a little more protein into your diet. So right now, I'm prepping my supplements. Got the carb powder, the electrolytes, and the pre-workout going for session number 2. And then I have zone 2 run later with Liz. And it's like 30 degrees out. So I'm gonna put 2 scoops of whey protein powder in this plastic bag so I can have after training. I have my banana, and then I have all my winter essentials and everything, my leggings, everything, so I'm not gonna be cold when I run. And then I have my Hokas over there for my running shoes. And then I got my Garmin right here to track my runs and my paces. And I just can't stress enough how important it is to just be dialed in and be aware of what you need to do and prepare and track things, because if you're not prepared, then you're just not gonna be getting the most results out of your day-to-day. And that's just doing a disservice to yourself. Your 40-year-old self does not want you to be cutting corners and making excuses. He wants you to be prepared. He wants you to be completely dialed to set you up for your life. So stop making excuses, get the preparation done, and it's gonna make your life so much easier. And I can't stress enough how important preparation and consistency is. It's literally everything. All right, so we just got done warming up for heavy clean and jerk singles, just at 225. I'm gonna build up to hopefully 300 plus. We'll see how it goes. I switched to bring my right leg forward because I found that that's more stable for me. So about 2 weeks ago, I made a huge mechanical change. So I've been trying to drill that because I used to go with my lead leg used to be my left foot. So let's see where we can go with it, and yeah, let's crush it. Come on, let's go. Not terrible. Going for 300 here. Just gotta get the head through. Not in the cards today. All right, definitely stoked with how clean and jerk went, especially because I'm, like I said, putting my right foot forward. So I got 300. I attempted 315. The clean was easy, but just didn't have it in me to do the jerk today. And pretty much the biggest limiting factor is not my strength of power, it's my biomechanics and my inability to get my neck forward and have a strong overhead position during the catch. I tend to catch the bar forward all the time, pretty much because my subconscious mind's like, oh Drew, it's scary weight. But on that 300, I was like, Drew, just get your head through and you're gonna be all right. And I drilled it. And then I kind of sent it for 315, knowing that a 15-pound jump at that load was not gonna be super optimal, but I kind of wanted to see what the clean felt like. Clean felt great, but the clean will come. That's my max clean, so, my max jerk. My max clean's 360. But overall, very happy with that, and now we're going on to bench. Okay, we just got done with barbell bench. I filmed a clip there. I did 275 for 5 sets of 2, every 2 minutes for 10 minutes. Pretty happy with this regarding how little rest time I get. So obviously the first set is super easy, and the next set gets a little harder because you have a lot less rest. So this is kind of like the premise of what I'm trying to build in CrossFit. I'm trying to build strength under fatigue, which is not necessarily something that I would recommend. Probably 3 to 4 minutes in between top sets for majority of compound lifts when there isn't a muscular endurance component involved, but overall felt really good. All right, we just crushed a pretty brutal Metcon. It was an 8-minute AMRAP of 10 bar facing burpees, 8 power cleans at 135, and 4 shoulder overhead. Me and my coach talked about it, and we wanted to do 1 minute and 36 seconds each round. That'd be 5 rounds every 8 minutes. I got that done in all 10 rounds, so definitely stoked about that. A lot harder than I thought. The 5th round of each segment, I was like, pretty gassed, had to dig deep, but we got it done. And like I said, that piece, the Metcon piece, the CrossFit piece is something that has come a long way in the past year of me doing CrossFit. And that's my main focus. If I can hammer that and get that to an elite level, then watch out. So we just gotta keep putting in the work day after day and not quitting on ourselves, following the plan, knowing that when it gets fucking hard, you're gonna keep pushing no matter what. So I think that's a big piece in my head. It's like, oh, this is painful. It's not real pain. There's people that are struggling and have real life pain, real life problems. Sorry, I'm spitting everywhere, but this is just momentary suffering. And if I can get through that, I can get through anything. It's just suffering. So I'm not super, so I try to reframe that pain narrative in my head and pretty much say that if people can withstand what they're dealing with, actual pain, then I can do this. Now I got some accessories, I'm gonna go fuel, and I got a zone 2 run. All right, so we just got back into the car, getting ready for a zone 2 run with Liz, crushing 2 scoops of grass-fed whey isolate. I have about 30-45 minutes to digest it. Transparent Labs grass-fed whey, absolutely goated, doesn't hurt your stomach at all. And I want to sit here and talk to you about why I do what I do. The reason I'm training to get to the CrossFit Games is because I know deep within me that I can perform and I can do these excellent things. It would be a disservice to myself if I didn't go after it. And I have no problem with people not chasing big things in life, but if you feel it deep inside of you, you better go after it, because you're gonna live in so much regret in 30, 40 years thinking, shit, the only reason I didn't go after it is because I just made excuses. I didn't go after it because I was scared. Take that first step and your life will completely change. I know it's the difficult path, and the difficult path is the path that I choose because I know that that's gonna lead to greatness. Every single day I wake up and say, I will choose hard today. I will sacrifice. This is going to be difficult. This is going to be uncomfortable. I don't have a certain future, but it's getting more and more clear. Especially 2 years ago, I had never started CrossFit in my life. I had never posted a piece of content in my life, and I was like, okay, Drew, how are you gonna make this happen? How are you gonna be able to train? I'm like, the only way you can do it is if you just make it your life. So I picked up the camera, I took the risk, I started a business, and I'm nowhere near where I wanna be, but it just goes to show that if you do have consistency, if you do just step out of your comfort zone, you can make things happen, no matter what it is. If you want to open a bookstore, start doing things to work towards that. If you want to friggin' open an ice rink, start doing things to work towards that. If you want to be a writer, start doing things today to work towards that. I'm here to tell you that and I'm on this journey just as much as you are on it with me. I don't want us to be sitting here in 40 years saying, shit, man, we could have done it. I don't want to be telling our kids, yeah, I could have done that, but this, that, and that popped up and I couldn't do it. And I know real life things happen, but we can't continue to make excuses day in and day out. And don't get me wrong, I know people have illnesses. I know people are in poverty. I know it's hard, but you gotta at least try, especially if you want to. You owe it to your future self. And that's something that is so deep within me that it burns so heavily that I'm so obsessed with this, and I'm so obsessed with achieving greatness and starting businesses and hopefully creating multi-million-dollar companies with my brand, hopefully get into the CrossFit Games. I know I can do it. I'm so obsessed with it, and I'd rather risk this all than anything. I want to work this hard so I can give back to my family, my girlfriend. I want to give back to you guys. I'm sacrificing today and tomorrow and putting in the work so I can get where I want to go. And it's very crazy to think about, but I can see it so clearly that I have no doubt in my mind that I can make it happen. And we're gonna look back on these YouTube videos in 10, 15 years, because I'm not gonna stop, and we're gonna say, damn, all you gotta do is just be consistent. I'm not any smarter than you guys. I just put in the work on the day-to-day basis and just learn from trial and error. So this is a long clip, but just pretty much all I'm trying to say is take the risk. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. If you have that feeling that you want to do something that you're passionate about, do not fucking fear it. Just go after it, and you are going to be so much happier. Whether you achieve it in 10 years or 15 years, that process of going after what you want is everything. Everything. All right, just got home from my zone 2 run. Just did 3 miles today, and then did 3 miles last night too. So triple session complete. Fueled, felt good, had some more electrolytes. And then we just came home to this package from Gymshark. So just to show you guys what I got this Gymshark Elite seamless t-shirt right here. Definitely feels good. It's gonna fit well. It's probably a tighter fit. So I'd get like, I wear XL and everything Gymshark. Then we got this Gymshark weightlifting club tank. And then we got a Gymshark cartoon lifting crew. These are all from the drop that just happened, so definitely keep an eye out for that and use code DrewAlex if you guys do want to get something. And it just says Gymshark right there, nice in the front. And then for dinner, we're just crushing some chicken and rice casserole. I'm trying to eat around 4,200 calories today, just because I'm doing a triple session and I'm sweating a ton. So that's why I'm eating the carb bars before my runs and carb powder during my workouts, just so I can get an extra 100 grams of clustered extra and good carb sources while I'm training. So just trying to shovel food down my system. It's 8:20 right now, eating a little late, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And then I'll probably eat 2 servings of this, and then probably around 9:30, I'll have my last meal of the day, just because it's a tight window, right? But I just gotta eat because I don't want it to affect my sleep at night. So I'm gonna house this down and then recover and pretty much get my last meal in. Alright guys, so we just did the Marc Pro and then some T-spine extension work. Like I talked about earlier, T-spine is super important for me, especially with catching a snatch and a jerk. So I just drill some tissue work and then do some cat-cow and some Aldoas. And then right now we got the Dave's Bagel, the organic Dave's Bagels with peanut butter, and then we got some Crofter's organic jam, no high fructose corn syrup in that at all. And then we have some Teddy's peanut butter with no seed oils. Then we got the Greek yogurt, like I talk about, 2 to 3 a day. And then we got a Olipop. I've been going with these. They're just like probiotic, prebiotic sodas that just kind of taste good when I need a little carbonation. And then we got the grass-fed, grass-finished Transparent Labs whey protein bar. Love these bars. Don't mess with your stomach at all. Only 4 ingredients, no seed oils, no processed sugars, no bullshit really. So yeah, that's about 4,250 calories on the day, and it's about 9:47. This is a late window to eat, but I'm gonna house this down. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Watch some Suits upstairs. If you guys haven't seen Suits, definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix. Pretty cool show. I enjoy watching it. And then we're gonna eat this up, head to bed, start it all over again tomorrow. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. As I always say, it means the absolute world to me. And we're on this journey together. I hope you know that. And I am super excited to see where everything goes. And like always, peace.